Hey everybody! Well, today we're going to take a look at this amazing Lego set. Now, I am really late on doing a video about this set, so I hope that you haven't seen reviews of it already, but I'm sure that you probably have because it's been out for 9 months. This set's been out for a while, and there's probably about 1,000 different reviews, but this box is huge. Now, I kind of had to put this set on the back burner, and that's why I'm so late doing a review on it, because I'm not really the biggest Super Mario fan, but at the same time, this set was expensive. It was like $270 or something like that. Finally went on sale on Amazon for about $20 off. It was very briefly on sale, and then I also had a $50 gift card, so that knocked the price down to $200, which was much more affordable. But this set is number 71411, and it is the Mighty Bowser, the Mighty Bowser. Look how cool he looks. So this set has 2,807 pieces. It's a big set. He ends up looking amazing, as you can see here. I just think he looks really cool. He comes with this fantastic base that I think it's from his castle, and there's a few features. Well, you can actually knock down the little torches down here on the side. But the main reason I like this is not only because of how cool he looks, but he has a lot of really cool features to him. On the back of the box here, we get a different angle of him, and oh gosh, I love the way he looks. This shell is so well done, and these pieces here are new. They're brand new pieces. Now, they were new with this set. I'm sure they probably used them on other sets by now, but the whole concept of the way they were able to put this together is fascinating to me. His eyes, you can actually angle them whichever way you want, but one of the coolest parts about this is that there's these levers and buttons, and by activating those, you can make his head turn from side to side, and you can also make his mouth open. And if you make it open wide enough, he'll shoot a fireball out of there. I thought that was such a great feature, and so cool that Lego was able to pull that off. And he just looks amazing. Look at him sitting on that whole setup there. So this should be a fun build. I can't wait to get started on it, and I hope you'll indulge me even though this review is going to be kind of late. So I just finished up bag 6, and I wanted to show you the cool mechanism that's going to make the head turn. So you got this little bar that slides back and forth. So this is the button that's going to stick out of the side of his, I think, neck area. But you can see how this kind of slides back and forth like that. And then you got that round cylinder right there that kind of makes the movement. It's very cool. And then this thing here, I'm not sure what this does yet. You can see this moves. That might be something to do with the mouth, possibly. And I've never seen these pieces before. These round things, they're kind of cool. You get 2 of those. I'm guessing there's some kind of a big ball joint. That might be where his legs attach, because that's the whole torso area. So it's very cool. I love how they figure out the engineering behind this stuff. It's always mind-blowing to me. That might be something to do with the fireball shooting out, possibly. But anyway, I think that's kind of neat. Alright, well, guess I'll keep on working on it. Okay, so I just wanted to show you what we got so far. This is so cool. Now, look at the amazing mechanisms that's going on in here. Now, I just got done with the legs, and I really loved building these. They're like good, solid legs. It's hilarious the way they're built. I mean, they are solid. And then here you can see the back, the shell. It's kind of got these weird interior bits going on here. It'll be interesting to see how that goes together. These are kind of movable, so I'm not sure what part those play yet. But here, when I turn this around, you can see the little button here on the side. That's what makes the head turn, so you can see it go that way. Then we can move it back this way. So that's how that's going to work. And then also the little switches on the side here. That's what's going to make this move up and down. See that just that little bit of movement, it's going to make his mouth open and close. So yeah, this is very wild. It's just wild how this goes together, but it has just been an absolute enjoyable build. I'm really loving it. Alright, just thought I'd show you what that all looks like before it gets all covered up. Okay, so I just finished bag 14, and this is what he looks like when you're done with it. It's so weird looking. Look how he looks without the rest of his face. Oh my gosh. That's too funny. Okay, here he is all finished now, and oh god, I absolutely love Bowser. Look how cool he looks. He looks so cool. And I gotta say, he's heavy. This is one hefty boy. He's got a lot of weight to him. So I'll show you all the cool features he's got, because he's loaded with them. But I think it looks great the way he's sitting on this base. So it's like Bowser's castle. And we'll take a close look at all the details of this as well. But originally, I think some people were complaining that they felt that the stand kind of added, like to the price. And I'm sure it does, because, it's just a bunch of extra parts. But at the same time, I think he looks really good sitting on here. So as we turn him around here, we can see that he's a big boy. He's actually a very large scale figure, and I absolutely love these shells. This shell, it was so cool looking. I love the spikes. It was really neat the way this was done, and also for Lego to be able to pull off this character in Lego form is pretty shocking. It's easy to do things like buildings and stuff like that, but to pull off a character like this and have him look so good is pretty amazing. So let's start with the stand. I love the way they did this whole flat section here. So we have these nice stepping stones, and it's really cool the way they did this. And it was fun to put all those together. So it's interesting because it looks random, but if you notice, this is the same as this. It's just been reversed. So you can tell that this shape here is the same as this shape here, but it's just on the other side and upside down. But I love the little stepping stones on here. I love this nice, I'm guessing it's like a red carpet with this gold trim using the gold ingot parts. There's a lot of tiles in here. And also like the spike kind of details along here. And Bowser has all these spikes all over. He's wearing the spiked wristbands, the spiked collar, and you can see that kind of follows suit with all of this all the way over to here. And on this part here, you've got these nice little flamed, they're like torches. I love they got the dual molded like flame piece right here. And we have more of those spikes going on right there. There's the flag with Bowser's face on that tile, which is very neat. Love the way that is all done. And then over here we have the same thing. Now what's interesting is these are made to fall off, so you can kind of make it look like Bowser falls off. So these are just held on by a simple couple of little jumpers right there, and you'll notice there's a POW brick right there. It's like a little hidden POW brick. So you can use the electronic Mario figure on this to use that little feature. And what else is cool is we've got this nice little hidden drawer right here. So inside there's another tile, and that can be used with the electronic Mario. So I don't have my electronic Mario anymore to show you how that works, but you can activate him through there, and then by tapping him on the different colors of Bowser, you can defeat Bowser. So it's really neat how they incorporated that in there. This also falls off nice and easy with just a couple of jumpers there as well. So I like when they add features like this. So as I said, some people kind of felt like this was kind of an added cost to the set. And I know that these sets are, can't seem to get this back on. So, these sets, the prices of these sets are predetermined, and then the creators and designers have to work around that cost. So this was probably something that they had to throw in because Bowser cost a certain amount of money and they were already done completely designing him, so they had to add this to it. But I think it's fine. I like the way it looks. Okay, so let's look at Bowser himself. Now, I know he's supposed to be the nemesis of Mario, but he's kind of cute. I gotta say, the way they did him, he's pretty cute. Now, he's got a lot of articulation on him, surprisingly so, for his size and just kind of the way he is. So let's start with these arms. Now, in here you'll see there's a hinge, and that hinge is ratcheted, so you can make his arms go straight down like that. It's only got a couple of positions, but it works. I think that's about as high as it goes right there. And then also his elbows have ratchets, and there's a hinge in there as well. So you can have his arms straight down, or you can have them bend like about halfway, and you can have them bend all the way to like this position right here, which is pretty far. Also his wrists, you can turn his wrists for his hands, and also his thumb is movable. The fingers are set. I mean, you can turn them if you want, but then they look a little out of place. But it's nice that they made his thumb able to move like that. And that's the way it is for both hands and both arms. Okay, so let's take a look at his face. I love the way they did this. The jowls on his like mouth area, the little jowl area, it's really cool how they have these round pieces with the tile that goes in the middle. I don't know if that's new or not. It might be. Now, one thing I did notice is the nose piece right here is really just barely on there. I mean, you can just pull that right off. So you can see it's got this kind of piece right here, and there's a little post in here, and it barely holds this in. So if you just bump this might fall out. So I will say that that was kind of something that I think they could have fit in there somehow a little bit better. Now his eyes, you can turn these. So let me see. You can see how you can turn them to his side so it looks like he's looking that way, or you can turn it that way. Or if you want, you can even make it look like he's cross-eyed. That looks so cool. So these move really smooth. They're on those little turntable type pieces. And they look really good. Those are printed. Everything's printed on here, thank goodness. There's no stickers, which is great. Also, these eyebrows, that's another thing that you can change all of his expressions. So you can have them look like this. But these things are on ball joints. You can move them this way, and you can move them up and down. So if you want him to look like he's mad, just turn him up like that. And then you can also turn them inward, so it makes them even look even more mean, which is pretty cool the way they did that. You can make them look a little indifferent right here with just kind of the straight on look, and you can also have them go down. And if you want, you can even have them look kind of sad. You can have some sad look on there. These are cool. I was really surprised at how easily these are moved, which is fantastic. Also, these red pieces on the top of his head, they can also move just a little bit. But you can see if you want them up or down or however way you want to adjust these. This one here is just kind of loose. It just kind of sits here. It's just on a hinge. But that was another thing that you can kind of arrange in whatever way you'd like. Let's take a look at some cool details on Bowser here. Now, I love these spiked wristbands that he's got, as well as the armbands up here. You'll see that he also has the spiked collar, so it's just like he looks in the video game. In the instruction manual, it shows you kind of the progression of how Bowser looked as he, changed over the years. I love these little horns coming out of his head right there. We saw how cool his face looks. Look at that mouth and teeth. There's a cool feature with all of this. I'll show you in just a little bit. I love that belly. He's got the hard shell under here. He is a turtle after all. I love his kneecaps, his little, look at those toenails down there. Same with his fingernails coming around here. You can see how his legs look. Love this tail. These legs are movable, and so is the tail, and the tail kind of helps balance him out. This shell was so cool, as I mentioned earlier, the way that was put together. That little lever right there and that button, you saw how those will activate parts of his head. But this shell was really cool. The way they used the tube parts right here to kind of, make the outer part of his shell, but then just the way that they had to geometrically fit all these pieces in there is pretty amazing. And each one of these is done in a row. Like this is one piece, this is one piece, and this is one piece. And then they're all done with hinges so that you can bend it into this curved shape. And then they go in with pins that you saw on the inside, those parts that kind of, kind of pivot inside there. Those pins fit in there, and that's how all of that goes on. And it fits very nicely. It's pretty amazing they were able to figure all of that out. Down here we got a couple more spikes on his tail, which is really neat. This piece is kind of loose right there. That's probably something that some people may have fall off or something, when you're setting him down there, because it is kind of a loose thing. And here's the other side of him right here. So he looks really good. I just love the detail on him. All right, let's check out the main features of him. Okay, so now let's look at the cool things that we can do with Bowser here. So he's almost like a puppet. So when you pick him up, let me see if I can pick him up the right way here. You'll notice it's hard to find a way to get him. See how his legs move inward like that? They're made to kind of pivot, as well as his tail. See how his tail kind of goes down like that? So all of that is very, very cool. So it's almost like you can make him like lunge forward like that. It's like he's like, you can kind of make him walk. Now, as I showed you earlier, he's got these buttons on the side. Now, you can make his head turn like that. That's very cool. So I showed you how that mechanism works, but it works really well. And then we got these levers on the side. When you make these levers move, you can make his mouth open and close. So it's like a puppet, you can kind of make his head turn and come over here, and you can kind of make it look like he's growling. I mean, look at how cool that is. You can make them both move at the same time. So if you get really good at this, you can kind of make it look like he's alive. Now, another cool feature, when he opens his mouth, and I'll show you what happens if you open it all the way. Now, you'll recall one of the parts that came with this is that fireball piece. So he can shoot fireballs out of his mouth just like he did in the game. So when you move his mouth again, if you move it just a little bit, you can make his mouth open and close. But if you open it all the way, there it goes. It shoots out of there, and it shoots pretty far too. This fireball piece is a really nice piece. You can see it's like dual molded. It's almost like this stuff here was melted onto the main yellow part. It's really neat. Now I do wish they would have given you a couple of these, or maybe even 3, because you're bound to lose this thing. Somebody's bound to lose it sooner or later. So at least 2 of them would have been nice, but they only do give you 1 in this set, so that's unfortunate. And when you load it in here, you just open his mouth. You can kind of see inside here that little hole right there. That's the spring-loaded shooter that's in here. You just push it in, and you have to kind of let his mouth close a little bit, and you'll feel it click. If I can get it in there, it's a little slippery to grab. Okay, so there we go. It's loaded in there. And you can just kind of see it in the front of his mouth right there. So now, let me see if I can come back around here. So now when we start manipulating his mouth again, so it's kind of neat. So you can like turn his head, make him go like this, make it look like he's growling while he's turning his head, and then shoot out that fireball. That is such a great feature. I love this. I mean, I'm really just so pleased with the way this works. It's so smooth, and whoever came up with the design, I can't remember the 2 guys that worked on this. I think it's in the instructions, but to make that, be able to do all that, it's so cool. I mean, he looks like he's almost alive. Like I said, if you get really good at this, you can really make him look like, you know, he's like alive or something. I've never seen this in a Lego set, at least the ones that I've seen. So I think that really is, there's a lot to be said about the design of this. Isn't that right, Bowser? Yup. So cool. And as I mentioned, on this base here, you can make it look like he's terrorizing the castle. So you can make it look like he's stomping up to this, knocking over the towers, knocking this tower over. It's really cool. So yeah, I just, there's all kinds of fun things you can do. I'm not sure how many times people would knock these over, but I do like that they added this feature, and I don't know why I'm always having such a hard time getting that one on. I'll set that one up here in a minute. As I mentioned, I'm a little late reviewing this set, so I'm making this video in August of 2023. Bowser came out about 9 months ago, and this is one of those sets that unfortunately I ended up putting on the back burner, because when he came out, a bunch of other sets were coming out, and this being $270, it's a pricey set. I think most people would have preferred this to be around the $250 to $225 range, but you know, Lego's prices, you know, they're not the best. This little part here is always coming loose on the shell. But yeah, so you know, I had to put the other sets ahead of this one, but I knew I wanted this because I just think it's so cool. You know, I'm not even into the Mario theme, but I'm looking this at more of like the character itself and just the awesome puppetry abilities that you can do with this. The fact that you can move him around the way you can, and also he just displays so good. Look how good he looks. I still can't get over how good that shell looks. That looks so cool. Just overall, he's just an amazing set. I think this looks awesome. So yeah, $270. Fortunately, now he's been out long enough now that I think you might be able to catch him on sale here and there. I've been keeping an eye on Amazon, and he finally dropped down to $250. It was the first time I'd ever seen him go on sale, and I thought, well, that's pretty good. At least that's $20 off. And then I had a $50 gift card, which brought it down to $200, which made it much more affordable. But hopefully you'll be able to see him pop up, you know, on sale here and there. And this is one of those sets where I haven't seen this at Walmart or Target. Maybe some of you have seen this set there, but I've only ever seen it on Amazon and at Lego, the actual stores on the website. So I don't know if it's kind of one of these exclusive type of sets that are kind of hard to get. But yeah, this is really cool. So if you're a Mario fan and you have been on the fence about this, I would say, yeah, definitely get this. And even if you're not a Mario fan and you just like the character because you think he's really neat looking, definitely I would say get it. And maybe if you can get him on sale, that would be even better. But I think he's really cool. And like I said, I kind of think he's got a kind of a cute factor too. All right. Well, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons. I very much appreciate it. And until the next time, thank you very much for watching. And I will see you on the next video.